Hi, my name is Rick Romine and welcome to How to Wilderness. In this video, we're going to focus on food preparation for outdoor activities, and in particular, dehydration. Now, dehydration is a food preservation process that's been practiced all the way back in ancient times. The basic concept is fairly simple. The microorganisms and bacteria that tend to spoil food thrive in warm, moist, air-rich environments. The process of dehydration is to remove as much moisture as possible out of the food, thereby extending significantly the shelf life of the product. You may be surprised at the number of food items that can very successfully be dehydrated and then rehydrated in the field. In order to successfully dehydrate food, you need three things. You need a safe place to store the food from insects and animals. You need a heat source to help extract the moisture out of the food, and you need time. There are a variety of techniques that leverage all three of those. The first is sun drying. By placing the food items on a tray, covering it with a cheesecloth, and setting it out in the sun, you can successfully dehydrate fruits and vegetables. One of the challenges to sun drying, though, is you need to make sure that the right humidity level is there so that you can extract the moisture, and you also need to know in advance that you're going to have enough consecutive warm days. So for example, you typically need somewhere in the neighborhood of 3 to 5 days with 95 to 100 degrees temperature. A second option for dehydration is to use the oven. You can place the food in the oven and dehydrate it at about 140 degrees temperature. Now, one of the challenges with oven dehydration is that some ovens don't have settings that are down that low, and you'll tend to overcook the food. You may lose the nutritional value of the food, and you may lose some of the flavor. The third way you can dehydrate food is using a commercial dehydrator. These dehydrators are specifically designed to optimize the dehydration process. They have stacking trays, airflow with fans, and temperature controls. Of the three techniques, sun, oven, or commercial, I prefer dehydrating my food in a commercial dehydrator. In order to safely dehydrate food, you need to monitor and manage the temperature. Microorganisms tend to grow at between 40 degrees Fahrenheit and 140 degrees Fahrenheit. When you're refrigerating your food or freezing your food, it's well below 40 degrees and safe. When you're cooking your food or you have your food in a warming tray and it's above 140 degrees, that's typically safe. I'd like to show you an example of food being dried in a dehydrator. In this particular dehydrator, I have both apples and tomatoes. Once these items are fully dried, they'll be packaged into Ziploc bags. The advantages of Ziploc bags is that they're airtight, they can be stored in the freezer. When you take them out into the field, they can also be used for rehydrating the food. You pour the water directly into the bag. Dehydrating your own food can be very cost effective. Here's an example of dehydrated corn, peas, onions, refried beans, spaghetti sauce, salsa, chili, ground turkey, pasta with sauce, and pasta without sauce. We've now covered the basics of dehydration. If you'd like to see specific examples of food items being dehydrated, please check out our demonstration videos. In the meantime, remember, do it in the wilderness. We'll show you how.